Hello, Fresh Baked. It's time for an episode of Rumor Central, and I bring this to you because MiceAge dropped a new article this morning with some rumors to discuss stuff that we've been interested in the last few weeks. There's a link to that article in the description below. Feel free to check that out. Obviously, it goes without saying, this is all MiceAge stuff. I don't know who their source is, so this is just rumor to me. But I wanted to comment on it because a lot of it makes sense. Let's just start with something that's kind of fun. They've got some new updates for us on Food and Wine. Now, we did Food and Wine last spring, and it was pretty fun. Although I think most of us felt like we would have liked more. More food, more varied food, because it was the same food throughout the whole event. It was like 3 weeks, right? It was 3 weeks and it was the same food every week. But we just wanted a bigger presence of the show. And I think we're going to get that, according to MiceAge. We're going to get a bigger, better show next year. But most importantly, and they said that they're going to be incorporating it into the holidays coming up this holiday season, a festival of holidays. They're going to incorporate Food and Wine into the Lunar New Year and Viva Navidad. So, because I don't know if you recall, one of my complaints about Lunar New Year and Viva Navidad was the total lack of food. They offered a little bit over there at Paradise Garden Grill. The Lunar New Year especially, all you could get was a dumpling. That was it. You could get a big old dumpling or a giant cookie that was the size of a dinner plate. And that was it. That was it for Lunar New Year. And there was, you could get like a taco plate for Viva Navidad, like street tacos. And those were actually pretty good. I enjoyed those. But I want more. I want more authentic, more varied, more, I can get street tacos anytime I want. Just right on the corner. There's 85 street taco vendors, by my house. So I don't need Disneyland to bring me that. I want some seasonal, authentic food. And hopefully that's what we're getting this coming season. They said there is going to be something for Thanksgiving, although there's no show to correspond with that like we have with Viva Navidad or the Lunar New Year, but there's going to be something for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the Lunar New Year. So look out for that. Look out for more food in DCA and a bigger, better a bigger, better food and wine festival in spring. And I'm definitely excited for that opportunity. By the way, they hinted. This is kind of a throw-in to that commentary. They hinted at They hinted at the Pixar Play Parade kind of going away. It's open now, but you'll remember for spring they stopped the Pixar Play Parade to make room for Food and Wine, and I don't think anybody noticed. I have not seen the Pixar Play Parade, and I don't even know how long, because it's at a weird time of day for me. It's at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock, and that's right when I'm leaving, or I have already just left. So I'm gonna have to check out the Pixar Play Parade again soon, because they're saying it's gonna be closed for this upcoming holiday season. Yeah, they said October 31st is when it's going to go away. That's just in time for the Thanksgiving Food and Wine stuff. So it's going to shut down. They said temporarily, according to MiceAge, temporarily, but probably they're hinting that it could go away forever. It's going to close for Food and Wine, and then it's going to close for the construction or the remodel of Tower Terror. Because that's where it starts right there at backstage is where Tower Terror is, and they can't bring the parade out, I guess. And then it's going to be closed again for spring for Food and Wine. So I don't know. I have a feeling they could be right on this. Because really it doesn't. The Pixar Play Parade is fun, but it doesn't generate the passion that any of the parades do at Disneyland. So if it went away, nobody would notice. Would you notice? I don't know. Okay, moving on. Speaking of Tower Terror, it is closing officially January 2nd. That's according to Disney. But MiceAge has its own rumors on this as well. What they brought us as rumors of what we might expect for the actual attraction. And these are kind of interesting. A lot of people have guessed that they're going to enclose the outdoor portion of the queue for Tower Terror to extend the queue for Guardians of the Galaxy. And MiceAge is saying that is what's going to happen. They're going to enclose that, and then the interior, the lobby, the current hotel lobby is going to be the museum, the collector's museum, before we go upstairs and into where the elevators are. Now, they're not going to be elevators. They're going to be emergency escape vehicles. Apparently, we're all trapped inside of the collector's museum. We're all trapped, and I think Rocket's gonna get us out of here or something, and we have to get into those emergency escape vehicles, and it's going to start. That's the only part, really, is the drop, the ups and downs. That's the only part that's going to even remotely resemble the attraction as we know it. Everything else is going to be redesigned, including the actual, when they get to the top, the doors are going to open, but instead of seeing DCA, you're going to see a projected image of empty space, or, well, I don't know, empty space, stars and whatnot, maybe a galaxy, maybe nowhere. We'll probably see nowhere out there, I don't know. Well, the Collector's Museum was on nowhere, but then it kind of exploded in the movie, so I'm not sure if he's going to rebuild it there or not. Anyway, that's one of the changes to expect, is that you're going to see space instead of DCA. And they are confirming again that it's going to be more randomized. There's going to be several different sequences and different scenes that you're going to see. And currently, Tower of Terror, you only get the one scene. It's just the family getting in the elevator, the kid with the thing, and then the ghost, they wave bye-bye, that kind of thing. It's going to be, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 different randomized scenes and randomized drop patterns. So that's an improvement, right? That's what people have asked for, is more randomization on the drops. So that's good. All right, now MiceAge is also saying that the backside of the attraction, the backside of Operation, what is it, Breakout? That's just such a terrible name. Operation Breakout. What? Like, literally, did you just write that down on a napkin? Were you guys having like a latte over Operation Breakout? That's all you got? Okay. Anyway, this suggests that the expansion will be occurring behind Tower of Terror. So that parking lot area is going to become more DCA, not backstage, but more DCA. Which actually begs the next question. Well, you know what? I'm going to hold that off because it has to do with the monorail track and the parking lot and stuff like that. So we're going to get to that in a minute. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Let's get to the monorail now. We're done with that. Guardians of the Galaxy. The doors are going to open to empty space, randomized. Backside's going to be themed. Look out for more Marvel or more DCA behind Tower of Terror. And I hit my 5th finger, but I don't have one. The final thing I want to talk about that MiceAge discussed was the rerouting of the monorail. Now, I didn't say this in the videos. I've been saying we're going to raise the monorail in order for the bridge to go under. That was the only thing I could think of. I could never really get my head around this, what they were going to do. But when somebody finally presented me some math, we found out that, well, they said that the concept, or the submissions to the city suggested that the bridge was going to be 20 feet high, and the monorail currently is 25, if I remember correctly. The top of the monorail, not the track, but the actual monorail vehicle, is 25 feet high, which means that the bridge can neither go over it or go under it. 20 feet is too high, and 20 obviously 20 is too low to go over. So the only thing you can do is reroute the monorail if those numbers are correct. If it's 20 feet high, if the bridge is 20 feet high and the monorail is 25, the only thing you can do is reroute the monorail. And that's what MiceAge is reporting, is that the monorail will be rerouted. And the only rerouting that makes sense is for it to hug the inbound track. Now here's an image. Here's what we talked about, the new parking structure. I dropped this image on you. This is an overhead shot from Google Earth. And then here's the overhead shot with the current outbound track. And you can see it kind of runs parallel to Harbor and then dips in behind the bus drop-off and DCA. And then that's the inbound track. That's the track that's coming in from, the Disneyland Hotel, the downtown Disney stop, coming into Tomorrowland. So what we're expecting is for the outbound track to hang a right as soon as it leaves Tomorrowland, as soon as it leaves, the backstage area of Tomorrowland, hug, run parallel or alongside the inbound track, and then it's going to turn left as you get to the end of the bus drop-off area, and it's going to reconnect with the monorail track right around stage 17. And that's my phone. And now when you think about it, this makes a lot of sense. Actually, you don't have to worry about any changes in elevation. You don't have to build an excessively high or an excessively low bridge. The monorail doesn't have to have this gradual incline, because really, the raising it is a terrible idea now that I think about it in hindsight, because you can't just raise it like you could a bridge, because the incline for a monorail has to be gradual. It has to be a very steady grade, and that would require you basically demoing a very large portion of the track. Matter of fact, there isn't enough coming out of the Tomorrowland station. There isn't enough track to get a higher, because you're on Harbor in a minute. Just like that, you're on Harbor when you leave the Tomorrowland station. So there's not enough real estate to get the track high enough to go over a pedestrian bridge. So that was a terrible idea, Dave. But so is lowering Harbor. So no. That is equally terrible. You know what? Let's have a terrible contest: raising the bridge, or raising the monorail, or lowering Harbor. Which one's worse? I don't know. Let's put a poll. You know what? I'm gonna put a poll there. Boop. Anyway, so it makes a lot more sense to maintain elevations, reroute the monorail track, and then have it reconnect with the current track that's just outside of stage 17. It does shorten your trip a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. I guess it's worth it. I don't know. That trip was already pretty short. The outbound trip to downtown Disney was already pretty short. And actually, a lot of it, I enjoyed the view going down Harbor Boulevard, but I did not enjoy seeing just the backside of those DCA buildings. You could only see Hollywood backlot for like half a second. You could only see Buena Vista Street for half a second. It wasn't a long enough view to really go, ooh, that was amazing. It was gone, just like that. Not even long enough to take a picture. So you're not really missing much as far as that goes. So I think I'm in favor of this rerouting. And now the question is, MiceAge is saying again, no, they're speculating here. This is not anything they've heard. They're saying it only makes sense now to turn that bus loading zone into more DCA. It only makes sense, they say. But I don't think so. It's either going to stay a bus drop-off, or it's going to be turned into backstage, because they are going to co-opt some of that backstage area over there by Tower of Terror, and you got to put this stuff somewhere. You can't just not have backstage. So that stuff has got to go somewhere. You got to do something with this stuff. You can't just get rid of it, and not have it go somewhere. I just said the same thing 3 times. All right, I am so thirsty now. I have to go. You know what? Hang on. You know what? I'm still thirsty. I'm going to go chew on that fresh bake. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on... I'm such a pig. Let me know your thoughts on the festival holidays and more food and wine, and on Tower of Terror turning into Guardians of the Galaxy and the rumored changes that we're going to expect, and on the monorail track being rerouted. I want to know all of your thoughts on this, and please don't yell at me for perpetuating MiceAge rumors. I am just commenting on those rumors. Please don't yell at me. I'm a very sensitive person. I'm just kidding. I don't like it though. Bye guys, fresh baked and stuff.